All right, welcome back for 16.4. We take a look at total quality management (TQM). So we're gonna take a look here what we got with TQM. So quality control, quality assurance. Take a look at that here in this section. We're gonna take a look at Deming management, the contributions of W. Edwards Deming to improve quality. We're going to talk about core TQM principles, so deliver customer value and strive for continuous improvement. We're going to talk about applying TQM to services. We're going to talk about some TQM tools, techniques, and standards. And then we're going to take a look at takeaways from TQM research. So, quality control, quality assurance. So, when we take a look at those, and they're just, it's a delicate but, appreciable difference between the two. So, quality control is defined as the strategy for minimizing errors by managing each stage of production. Quality control techniques, they were developed in the late 1930s at Bell Telephone Labs by Walter Schubert, who used statistical sampling to locate errors by testing just some rather than all of the items in a particular production run. So with quality control, you're sort of taking a look at um, smaller sample sizes to see what issues may come up with an organization. Understanding though when you're doing quality control, you know you're understanding that if you're only sampling a small portion, there may be other issues out there in terms of the other products that you maybe uh, aren't sampling. So quality control, while you're trying to produce an overwhelming majority of quality products, you may understand you don't have quality assurance, which was developed in the 1960s. So, quality assurance focuses on the performance of workers, urges employees to strive for zero defects within all of their products. So, quality assurance has been less successful because often employees have no control over the design and the work process. So, you want to assure, you want to have you want to strive for quality assurance, zero defects in all of your products, but understanding again that that necessarily um, can be really difficult to achieve just based on the costs that it would take to make sure that every single product that comes through is perfect, right? Zero defects. So both have sort of have their place within industry. I'll tell you, quality control is probably a little bit easier to achieve rather than quality assurance. Again, that idea of zero defects. So, Deming management. So, the contributions of W. Edwards Deming to improve quality. So, quality should be aimed at the needs of the customer. So, the customer is the most important part of the production line. Deming wrote this. So, thus, the efforts of individual workers in providing the product or service should be directed towards meeting the needs and the expectations of the ultimate user. So companies should improve at improving the system, not blaming workers. So Deming suggested that U.S. managers were more concerned with blaming problems on individual workers rather than the organization's structure, culture, technology, work rules, and management. That is the system. So, taking an internal look first, if you're a manager, taking an internal look first at, okay, this is, how can we improve our systems to better fit our employees rather than just telling our employees, hey, you need to do A, B, and C better. This is more of a you problem than it is an us problem, right? So, taking a look at that, uh, figuring out improving the system, don't blame the workers. So by treating employees well, listening to their views and suggestions, Deming felt managers could bring improvements in their products and services. Improved quality leads to increased market share, so increased company prospects and increased employment. So when companies work to improve the quality of their goods and services, they produce less waste, experience fewer delays, are more efficient. So these lower prices and superior quality lead to much greater market share, which in turn leads to business prospects, consequently increasing employment. Right. So the better quality you can have, the more share of an industry that you're going to have in selling to people, the cheaper you're going to be able to produce your products, the more you're going to sell. It kind of just becomes this snowball of positivity if you can produce a quality product and, keeping your customers happy. And then quality can be improved on the basis of hard data using the PDCA cycle. So Deming suggested that of the quality could be improved by acting on the basis of hard data. So the process for doing this came to be known as the PDCA cycle, known as the plan, do, check, act cycle, using observed data for continuous improvement of operations. And here you'll see the PDCA cycle in a visual. This is on page 719 within your book. So we talk about plan. So desired and important changes based on observed data, make a pilot test if necessary. Then we implement the change or make a small scale test. Then we check, we observe what happened after the change or during the test, and then we act on the lessons learned after study of results, determine if predictions can be made as basis for new methods. So that is the plan, do, check, act, the PDCA cycle. Core total quality management principles: deliver customer value and strive for continuous improvement. So when we take a look at total quality management, it is defined as the comprehensive approach led by top management and supported throughout the organization, dedicated to continuous quality improvement, training, and customer satisfaction. Two core principles of TQM, namely, one, the people orientation. So everyone involved with the organization should focus on delivering value to customers. And two, improvement orientation. Everyone should work on continuously improving the work processes. So with our people orientation, it's focusing everyone on delivering customer value. So delivering customer value is most important. People will focus on quality if given empowerment. And then TQM requires training, teamwork, and cross-functional efforts. So with TQM, that people orientation, it's getting people to understand that customer value is the most important. It's also understanding that it's good to know multiple different situations, multiple different parts within an organization. And then there's the improvement orientation. So focusing everyone on continuously improving the work process. So continuous improvement is defined as ongoing, small, incremental improvements in all parts of the organization, all parts of services, functional areas, and work processes. So it's less expensive to do it right the first time. It's better to make small improvements all the time, and accurate standards must be followed to eliminate small variations. So there must be a strong commitment from top management. So need to have the people orientation, the improvement orientation. These need to be two backbones of your organization to ensure TQM principles survive and thrive within your organization. Applying TQM to services. So manufacturing industries provide tangible products. Service industries provide intangible products. So one clear prerequisite for providing excellent service is effective training. So judging the quality of services is different from judging the quality of manufactured goods. It comes down to meeting the customer's satisfaction. Some TQM tools, techniques, and standards. So outsourcing, let outsiders handle it. So outsourcing, we've talked about, essentially hiring somebody else to, do a service or an operation as an outside vendor. Usually this is done to reduce cost or increase productivity. So again, one popular source of outsourcing is, having, another country produce a product where the labor might be cheaper, right? Think about like Apple and the iPhone, where they've outsourced the production of the iPhone to China, where it's a little bit cheaper to do that. Then we have reduced cycle time, so increasing the speed of the work process. So reduce cycle time or reduction in steps in a work process, such as fewer authorization steps required to grant a contract to a supplier. The point is to improve the organization's performance by eliminating wasteful motions, barriers between departments, and unnecessary procedural steps, and the like. Then we have statistical process control. So taking periodic random samples. So with this, as the pages of this book were being printed, instruments were called densimeters and colorimeters were used to measure ink density and trueness of color, taking samples of printed pages at fixed intervals. Statistical process control, a statistical technique that uses periodic random samples to see if the quality is being maintained within a standard range of acceptability. And we have Six Sigma and Lean Six Sigma. So these are data-driven ways to eliminate defects. So Six Sigma is a rigorous statistical analysis process that reduces defects in manufacturing and service-related process. And then we have Lean Six Sigma, which focuses on problem solving and performance improvement. So a speed with excellence of a well-defined product. And then we have ISO 9000 and then ISO 14000, so meeting standards of independent auditors. So ISO 9000 series consists of quality control procedures companies must install from purchasing to manufacturing to inventory to shipping. That can be audited by independent quality control experts or registrars. And then ISO 14000 series extends the concept identifying standards for environmental performance. So these are tools, techniques, and standards that managers, businesses can use within their organization to achieve total quality management. So then we take a look at the takeaways from TQM research. So TQM principles have been used by thousands of organizations through the years. A team of researchers concluded that the vast majority of TQM adopters follow its general principles, who in turn foster improved performance. So with TQM, I guess the gist of it is if you follow the principles, if you give yourself to the research, it does work. It does work. It's an effective tool for managers to help decision making, help continuous improvement within an organization. All right, now as we get into 16.5 contemporary and control issues. So using artificial intelligence to control, and then employee tracking and monitoring. So we'll take a look at those here as part of 16.5. So using AI to control, so reducing errors and defects, increasing productivity, and then enhancing supply chain management. So reducing errors and defects. So, from exploding phones to faulty automobile airbags, arthritis drug recalls, product recalls, the first 2 decades of the 2000s, there was over $50 billion in recalls in the 2000s. That's an astronomical number, where there were just defects within these products that required businesses to essentially take them back and refund customers money, or fix whatever the problem might be and then return the product to them. Increasing productivity. So today, AI practices are enhancing productivity metrics with a wide variety of industries, making decisions faster and with more confidence, access real-time actionable insights from the data. And you guys are seeing this at warp speed right now. So even when this book was printed, it's not even at the level of what it's at today, where some of these AI bots can do the jobs of people, right? So we're not even this book hasn't even begun to scratch the surface of what AI's capabilities might be here going forward. And then we have enhancing supply chain management. So supply chain is the sequence of suppliers that contribute to creating and delivering a product, from raw materials to production to final buyers. So companies are therefore paying closer attention to the sourcing, shipping, and warehousing of their products, and the ingredients and component parts they acquire. And then employee tracking and monitoring. This is the other contemporary issue. So another way technology is helping managers control organizations is through tracking and monitoring employees. So some of these technologies, however, are helping companies monitor workers in controversial ways. So let's take a look here at some of the advantages and disadvantages. So advantages. So there are numerous benefits to monitoring and tracking employees. So monitoring can help uncover problems such as harassment or employee theft, reduce incidences of employees wasting company time, and highlight bottlenecks where employees spend more time than expected in their work process. Okay, so those are some of the advantages. The disadvantages, as you can imagine, creating concerns about employee privacy. Some employees believe that these types of programs make it difficult to retain employees because they create an intrusive environment that signals a lack of trust. Another disadvantage: communicate employee expectations, applying tracking and monitoring appropriately. Right. So, yeah, I think it's obviously controversial. You want to be as effective as possible with your organization, but yeah, it does feel a little bit intrusive in my mind. If you're tracking your employees' every single move during the workday, I think it in my opinion, it can kind of show a lack of faith and a lack of trust within your organization. So while it definitely has its merits, I think there are some significant detractors there that really cannot be ignored within the organization. So, but it is something that you're seeing a little bit more and more of. You're seeing, now too, with a lot of work from home, you're seeing that be problematic as well. for individuals. So, yeah, that's kind of one of those contemporary issues. That and AI right now are two big issues when it comes to quality control. All right, then we got Career Corner, and then we have Career Corner as well. So making sure you're just taking a look at these last two slides here. But there you have it. We have made it, the final odyssey of our book here. We've made it through nearly 750 pages over the course of the semester. So good work on you guys. The work is not done though, as we take a look at our chapter 13 through 16 examination coming up here next at the end of the week here. So again, making sure we're striving for the best possible grade that we can get on this exam as we look to finish up this semester strong. So appreciate you guys listening along. Thank you for putting up with me for the last 16 chapters. And as always, if we have questions to the run up to this thing, don't hesitate to ask. So alrighty, there you have it. Congratulations, you've made it through all the video lectures.